Thanks for staying. The Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, has hosted a 28-member delegation from Malta with an investment presentation outlining a variety of business opportunities here in Ghana. Now, the meeting, coordinated in partnership with the Ministry for Foreign Affairs and Trade Promotion, Trade Malta, and the Honorary Consulate of Malta in Accra, spared fruitful conversations on investment opportunities in a variety of sectors, including housing, logistics, finance, and education. The meeting was part of the itinerary of the President of Malta, Her Excellency Marie-Louise Preka, who is in the country on a state visit to explore possible areas of business collaboration as well as strengthen Ghana-Malta economic ties. Malta is a southern European island country located in the Mediterranean Sea off the coast of Italy and Tunisia. Addressing the delegation, the Director of Investor Services at GIPC, Edward Ashon Latte, was keen on Ghana's positive outlook on investment as well as government's commitment to ensuring a safe and vibrant investment environment. He highlighted some investment prospects in Ghana, which included agriculture and agro-processing, manufacturing, tourism, energy, infrastructure and transportation, financial services, information and ICT, health and education. These growth areas, coupled with Ghana's central location in the sub-region, trainable labor and ready access to the 300 million strong economic community of West African states market, were some of the advantages of investing in Ghana. Meanwhile, the visiting delegation has committed to developing strong business partnership between her country and the city of Kumasi. President Marie-Louise Preka says such collaboration is needed to advance socio-economic aspirations of people of the two countries. She was speaking during a courtesy call on the Asantehene Otumfuo II at the Menchia Palace as part of her visit.
Mrs. Louise Preka acknowledges and appreciates the diverse culture of both Ghana and Malta. She indicates culture and tradition provide avenues for exchange programs between the two countries.
Your Majesty, dear friends, we have come here to develop these collaborations and partnerships so as we can create jobs, so that we can together create prosperity for our peoples, so that our peoples, through your visiting Malta and Maltese potentially visiting Ghana, will develop people-to-people's contact so that our peoples can understand each other better. We can share much more. We can appreciate our diverse cultures. We can respect each other more. We can give further dignity, because we believe that we are one human race from wherever we come from, whoever we are. So in that way, while building businesses together, building collaborations and partnerships, we will develop a deep friendship, a sense of brotherhood and a sense of sisterhood, so as we can really build prosperity for our countries, but in the process become models that are very much so important for our world today, where so many conflicts and social tensions are present. A model of friendship, a model on which we can together build a culture of positive peace, to give an example to other countries across our globe.
Otumfuo II said he looks forward to the day Malta will establish a diplomatic office in Ghana to facilitate cooperation for mutual benefit.
Your Excellency, I wish to stress the importance of having more frequent exchanges between both countries at the political and economic levels, as well as the private sector, with a view to identifying opportunities aimed at enhancing cooperation and collaboration between the two countries. Equal attention may be paid to cooperation in the area of education, for instance, between the University of Malta and Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. The presence of a sizable Ghanaian community resident in Malta is yet another reason for deeper and stronger cooperation and collaboration between our two countries and peoples. Your kind words this afternoon assures me that under your leadership, the joint cooperation between Ghana and Malta will bring fruits where jobs, development, economic development would be enhanced between our two countries. And knowing you to be a social democrat and a doer, I would challenge you, and I believe you would do that, to help cement this relationship. And I'm waiting to see when you would open your High Commission in Ghana.
All right, so those were highlights of the visiting delegation of Malta to Ghana. Moving on, the U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, Robert Jackson, is impressing on government the need to boost the capacity of local exporters in exploiting opportunities in the American market. According to him, this has become necessary because of Ghana's failure to take advantage of the extension of the African Growth Opportunities Act, AGWA, by another 10 years. The U.S. government in 2015 extended the program which seeks to promote African export in the U.S. market. Mr. Jackson wants government to capitalize on it to boost the Made in Ghana campaign and the job creation agenda. He was speaking at the validation workshop for AGWA, organized by the USAID and the Ministry of Trade and Industry.
Ghana began developing the AGWA strategy last year following the renewal of the program for another 10 years. The renewal took effect in 2015 and ends in 2025. This is to enable Ghana make maximum use of the opportunities under the initiative, with emphasis on intensifying the country's export transformation agenda. At the opening of the strategy workshop in Accra, U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, Robert Jackson, said the $29 million worth of exports from Ghana to the United States last year is not good enough, considering the numerous opportunities AGWA presents.
AGOA is an opportunity for Ghana to access the U.S. marketplace, increase exposure for made-in-Ghana products, and create jobs. However, Ghana frankly has not taken as much advantage of AGOA as I would like. In 2015, Ghana exported $9 million worth of goods under AGOA. In 2016, that number increased to $29 million worth of goods, of which $12 million were for non-oil products. While this upward trend is encouraging, it is totally inadequate. And we can make substantial increases to trade between the United States and Ghana, and we can work to ensure that Ghana is more fully integrated into the global economy.
On his part, Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, Robert Ahumkalinse, reiterated government's commitment to creating the enabling environment for Ghanaian businesses to benefit from the initiative.
And we talk about this strategy, the importance of this launch. We should bear in mind that Ghana and Ghanaian businesses, and those of you here and those further afield, have access, advantageous access, to the largest market in the world, and it's up to us to take full advantage of that. The national strategy provides our ministries, Department of agencies, as well as the private sector, with structural guidance for evidence-based decision-making. Because we also need to understand that while the AGOA has been renewed again from 2015 to 2025, great news, we must realize that the opportunity will not hold itself out in perpetuity. We need to take advantage of this, and we in government are very, very keen to provide all the necessary environment to provide the support to our businesses to go.
The African Growth Opportunities Act seeks, among others, to increase intra-regional trade in Africa and exports to the United States.
Minister of Communications Ursula Owusu-Edufo has promised to ensure the passage of the Right to Information Bill in the next session of Parliament. Speaking with Joy Business at the sidelines of the workshop on civic technology, data sharing and analytic solutions in government, the minister stressed the need to synchronize data collected in government institutions for a better working database which should be accessible to the public.
if the government wants to get into the info highway, first of all, you have to make sure that your different entities have the data to share. Okay. Once we get that, we have a specific infrastructure that we need to put in place. Okay. You put in place that infrastructure, and it will take us 2 to 3 months. Once this is set up, connecting the different entities, sharing the information among them, that would be very easy. So at the beginning, of course, you have to get the buy-ins of the different stakeholders, and of course, the infrastructure has to be put in place. For me, it is a positive thing for the private sector. Let's take an example. Your ministry, one of your ministries, doesn't have an information system. It has to be developed, right? To do that, you need to give a private sector in Ghana job to do that. So it is creating new jobs for these persons. Developers who are working in different companies, you have lots of IT companies. I met these guys who seem very knowledgeable about lots of things. So I think these companies can be working together with the government to create new solutions at the same time. Giving a good thing to the government, and also creating opportunities, job opportunities for the companies. So it's a win-win for both of them.
All right, so that was rather the project consultant for enterprise data services, Kamal Mihal, who has been explaining the importance of InfoDec, a data highway which allows for governments to digitize data in various institutions in both private and public sectors. Let's now go to the Communications Minister, Esla Osu-Adofo, who promises to pass the Right Information Bill in the next session of Parliament.
This ties in with the conference that was opened by the President last week. He is determined that this treating every official information as a state secret mentality must stop. The information is generated by the citizens for the use of the citizens. So as far as is practicable, when they need information for their own work, they should be able to have access to it, to utilize it within bounds. And so the access to right to information law will be passed by this NPP administration. And I'm hoping that it will be passed in the next session of Parliament. If we are able to link our databases and have something similar to the information highway that Mauritians are using, it will be easy to do that in a few minutes, in a few hours, as against a few weeks. And it will enhance efficiencies across board. And once you have access to that information, you can analyze it, you can mine it, you can study it, and spot trends, which will facilitate planning for the future and even enhance the work that you're doing currently. Right now, a lot of us are working blind, which doesn't promote efficiencies. And that is why we think it is critical that all ministries, departments, and agencies understand that the work we do impact upon each other, since we're working as part of one government to develop one country. And so we need to share information. We need to collaborate and cooperate with each other more. And we need to facilitate the work of other interdependent agencies even better.
It's still live on the marketplace. Let's now turn our attention to some developments in the petroleum downstream sector. And some oil marketing companies have introduced the low sulfur diesel onto the market ahead of the August 1 implementation deadline set by the National Petroleum Authority, NPA. Zen Petroleum is one of such companies after taking delivery of 11 million litres of the new product from its suppliers, BP Trading, through its bulk distribution company, BDC Partner. The latest supplies come with the specification of 38 ppm low sulfur diesel, even lower than the 50 ppm threshold set by the regulator. Let's now join Ebenezer Sabute from the offices of Zen Petroleum, who will get some information and some clarification on the move by Zen. Ebenezer, what are they telling you?
Okay, Emmanuel, as you rightly said, the NPA has given 1st August as the date in which it is going to begin the implementation of the less than 50 ppm of diesel and petrol. But this petroleum company have actually gone ahead to introduce a product that is less than what the NPA is setting out. I'm joined here by Mr. Kwabena Ampom, who explained to us the reason why the company has gone ahead with this initiative. So, Mr. Ampom, welcome to Marketplace.
Welcome, and good afternoon to your listeners.
Okay. Please tell us briefly why the rush or come out with a product even before the NPA begins the implementation?
Okay. Zen is an indigenous company in Ghana, and we are demonstrating that the local companies have come of age in terms of fuel quality and services. I mean, this is, we have seen Goil, for instance, taking the lead in competitive pricing when the NPA deregulated the market in 2015. We also see Allied and Petrosol, who are also local companies, championing service excellence at the various retail stations across the country. It is in this spirit that Zen Petroleum also wants to champion this move by the NPA to bring low sulfur diesel into the country by being the first to introduce this cleaner quality fuel into the country.
I would like you to help our viewers a bit in this. What does this mean to the industry? I mean, bringing in 38 ppm product into the market, what does it tell consumers?
We know that high sulfur is a pollutant in the fuel, and high sulfur in fuel pollutes air quality, and it also reduces the performance of engines and even the quality of life of the engine, so to speak. What Zen low sulfur diesel is going to do is that it's going to improve air quality. It's going to let your engines last longer. It's going to also enable the introduction of cleaner technology engines and vehicles into the country, which will also enhance, the performance of these vehicles. Nobody really wants sulfur-polluted air. And in fact, the truth is that when the air is such polluted, it is children and old people that suffer the most when it comes to the breathing-related consequences and illnesses.
We all know that quality comes with a cost. And before this issue will come out, you know that many agencies, have been arguing that this is going to cost us. Now, I want to find out from you, are we going to have added cost to this, or we are going to be paying the same amount of fuel that we used to pay?
Throughout this year, we have seen the fuel price goes up and comes down. It depends on a lot of other factors, which are more market-related. We can even start, the introduction with a reduced price, and the next pricing window, we may see the prices go up. These things are not really the key issue and something we have a hold on. But you can look at this in the sense that for many years, we are breathing polluted air because of these emissions with high sulfur content air. Now we are going to have the benefit to breathe cleaner air, less sicknesses, better health, less maintenance cost for vehicles, introduction of vehicles with cleaner technologies that perform better, and many, many more benefits that could outweigh any cost, cost indications we might be thinking about.
Does that mean we are not going to have any added price on apart from what the deregulated market tells? So if today the 1 liter fuel is supposed to cost 2,000, let me put it that way, we are going to pay that 2,000, and because of the quality fuel, we are not going to have 2,500. Is that what you want me to understand?
What I'm trying to say is that we can't have a hold on the cost because fuel prices move along up and down based on several factors, not necessarily economic. So we could see prices jump and drop from time to time for reasons that are very difficult to explain. And we believe that this pattern will continue depending on global demand and supply factors. And for us, we don't believe that cost is such a significant factor with the introduction of this product into the country.
So I understand you've made delivery of the product, 11,000 liters, 11 million liters. Okay, thank you for the correction. Does it mean that it's already in the market and consumers are having the benefit of a cleaner fuel?
We have delivered the product in country. We are going to start supplying. It's not in the market now, and for us, it will start with our commercial customers because the commercial sector is where we have a significant presence.
When you say commercial customers, be specific.
Business consumers. So the business consumers is going to start with them. We will also find it in our retail stations, which are also across the country. Not many though, but we are still expanding.
Okay, let's come to your retail stations. What was the percentage of your take when it comes to the upstream sector?
In the downstream sector, we don't have many retail stations now. We have a significant presence in the commercial sector, especially in the mines, for instance, where we are the leading supplier in the country. But we also have our sites on the retail sector, and we are developing that network accordingly.
Okay. So apart from this cleaner fuel into the market, what is the next action for Zen Petroleum? What is the way forward?
For us, it has always been about the consumer experience, and it will always remain the consumer experience. Service excellence is key. We make sure that if you buy 1 liter, you get 1 liter. And we are also going to champion and make sure that customers who come and buy our cleaner fuel gets the full benefits from using cleaner fuel in their engines, lower maintenance cost, better quality air, and we will continue to champion these things in the country.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Kwabena Ampong.
Thank you.
So we've been speaking with Mr. Kwabena Ampong, who is the commercial manager of Zen Petroleum. Emmanuel, over to you in the studio.
Many thanks to you, Ebenezer, and he's been sharing with us the decision by Zen Petroleum to introduce lower sulfur diesel levels right before even the implementation deadline set by the National Petroleum Authority, the August 1 deadline. Let's now move upstream, and the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, has dismissed assertions flaring of gas on Ghana's offshore oil fields pose significant threats to the environment. The 2016 annual PIAC report revealed approximately 72% of gas was flared on the 10 field in 2016 as a result of petroleum activities, raising some concerns the situation may be harmful to the environment and pose increased risk to the health of host communities over time. But speaking with Joy Business, Chief Program Officer in charge of oil and gas, Kojo Agbenu Efunam, stated the amount of gas being flared currently is not dangerous.
We expect the coming on of 10 into the production stream. We expect that there should be an increase in the quantity of gas flared. Jubilee, because of the challenges that we had with the FPSO, the turret problem, made some of the operational challenges very critical for the company. They had to shut down, and sometimes too, because of those maintenance work that they needed to do, they had to shut down a lot of those facilities. And that will also give rise to the flaring. And also, they had a challenge also on the flare burner, which they had to redo. And then after doing that, they will have to test it. So all those things will accumulate in the amount that we see. And that is what we are saying.
I do think that these very reasons that you have encapsulated right now are justifiable enough for us to risk the environment to this extent.
No, so much. That's why I said the overall strategy. Our concern is so much about the overall strategy. But environmentally, the gas that we have, normally when you are looking at the environmental concern of the flaring, you look at the gas that is being flared. When you have a sour gas, that is gas that contains certain amount of pollutants, like you have nitrogen dioxide and sulfur, it is then that you get worried about the flaring. But what we have is sweet gas, which has very minimal or even in case of sulfur, no sulfur at all. So the amount of gas that you're flaring, those pollutants are not so much going into the environment. But our concern is not so much on the environmental aspect, it's about the resource. Somebody may ask, why should the EPA be interested in the resource being flared? Apart from we controlling pollution, environmental management has to do with also how we are using our resources. So if we have a resource, which is gas, that could be used in generating power for us, and some other things which we can get. And for one reason or the other, that gas is not being used for that purpose, but it is going into just flare, then you have concern about resource use, not so much about pollution of the atmosphere.
And in another development, the Environmental Protection Agency says it is ready and alerts on any possible oil spillage in the sector. Once again, Kojo Efunam Agbenu.
Nowhere in the world can any country say we are prepared, because you don't know what is coming. So whenever you say you are prepared, then you wait. When it comes, then you know whether you are prepared. For example, US in when they had the Deepwater Horizon, if a whole country like US reel under that, then you tell yourself you are prepared, then you go and then see what they went through, and then you can say whether you are prepared. But then we have a level of preparedness in the country. And what are those preparedness? And that is what the industry and then International Maritime Organization always look up to see whether there is a preparedness in the country. Number one, do you have a plan, which is oil spill contingency plan? Do we have it? Do you have it as a country?
Do you think we do have it?
Yes, that's number one. Yes, we do have it. Do you have any equipment in country that when it occurs, you can rely on to start the response before you call for assistance? Yes, we do have it. Number three, do you have any legal regime concerning that? Yes, we do have. Do you conduct training and then exercises for people to know about it and then exercise in country? Yes, we do.
Help us understand whether or not the EPA is satisfied with the way by which the environment is being protected in the midst of the exploration of oil in the country.
Yeah, I can say so far we are doing well. But then, as a regulator and the people of this country, we're not going to be patting ourselves at the back, oh, that we are doing well. That is why we always engaging the industry. And most of the time, I said, environmental protection and being a regulator is not like what we have sometimes, excuse me, to use the police as an example. It's not like you are a policeman and you are hiding inside a cave in a corner, and then the drivers are coming, and then you jump on the road with a gun and say you are driving too fast, park. We don't do that.
It's now time to take an investment tip.
Investment Tips is brought to you by Daffing Finance, Deposits, Investments, Borrowings and Advisory.
Some considerations. General rules for investment don't normally apply to everybody. Your circumstances will determine the investment needed. Age profile and the general advice on investments. In your 40s, consider the following: reduce the debt profile, second mortgage or real estate, estate planning, and retirement planning.
Investment Tips was brought to you by Daffin Finance, deposits, investments, borrowings, and advisory.
And that will be it for this edition of The Marketplace. Many thanks for watching, and do join us again next week when we bring you some more in the world of business. My name is Emmanuel Apwachi. Have a good afternoon.